Welcome to our channel. Today, we're talking about a turning point that changed Palestine forever, the years 1917 to 1945, when Britain took control of the land and tensions exploded. This isn't complicated history, it's human history, and yeah, it matters. Life before British rule. Before World War I, Palestine was not empty land. It was home to Palestinian Arabs, Muslims, Christians, and Jews living side by side. Palestinians had farms, villages, olive groves passed down for generations, local leaders and communities. This land wasn't a problem until outside powers made it one. Britain takes control, 1917. In 1917, during World War I, Britain defeated the Ottoman Empire and took control of Palestine. This period is called British Mandate Palestine. Here's the issue. Britain was not neutral. That same year, Britain issued the Balfour Declaration, promising support for a Jewish national home in Palestine, without asking the people already living there. Let's be real. Palestinians were the majority. Palestinians owned most of the land. Palestinians were ignored. This is where the trust started breaking. Jewish immigration increased. After Britain took control, Jewish immigration increased rapidly. Why? European anti-Semitism, pogroms, later the Holocaust. The suffering of Jews in Europe was real and horrific. 6 million Jews were murdered by Nazi Germany. That tragedy must never be denied. But here's the hard truth. Palestinians were not responsible for the Holocaust, yet they paid the price. Britain allowed large numbers of Jewish immigrants to settle in Palestine, often buying land, often backed by British power. For Palestinians, this felt like outsiders arriving fast, land changing hands, jobs disappearing, political control slipping away. Fear turned into anger. Palestinians feel their future is being taken. By the 1920s and 1930s, Palestinians felt trapped. They saw their land shrinking, their voices ignored, British soldiers enforcing unfair rules, Zionist groups organizing for a future state. Palestinians weren't against peace. They were against being replaced. Imagine being told, this land is your home, but not your future. That's how it felt. Resistance and clashes began. As pressure grew, clashes broke out. Palestinians protested. Palestinians went on strikes. Palestinians demanded independence like other Arab nations. Britain responded with curfews, arrests, executions, collective punishment. One major moment was the Arab Revolt in 1936 to 1939. Palestinians rose up against British rule. They demanded self-rule. Britain crushed the revolt with force. Thousands of Palestinians were killed, imprisoned, or exiled. Meanwhile, Jewish militias were training, gaining weapons, preparing for statehood. The balance of power was shifting fast. There was no trust left, not in Britain, not in negotiations, not in promises. This period set the stage for what came next: partition, war, and displacement. Why this period matters. You can't understand today's conflict without this chapter. This is where the power imbalance started. Palestinians lost political control. Resistance was labeled as violence. Colonial decisions reshaped lives forever. History didn't start in 1948. It started here. If you want to understand the conflict honestly, you have to start with listening to the people who were already there. Subscribe for more clear, honest history and global affairs. We don't sugarcoat, we tell it straight.